Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Carolina Lightweights. Come get with us. When the action begins in the studio, our referees for tonight's event are Elgato Azul and Carolina Real Streamers. For the viewers in attendance and Facebook and YouTube users around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the Elgato Azul TV studio in Louisville, Texas, it's time! What's up, slime lovers? Welcome to the Slime Show. Tonight we're going to have we got a returning guest tonight. We got Miss Paula Smith, one of our teammates over at Carolina Lightweights. Welcome to the show, Paula.
Thank you.
We got Mr. Jamie Dunn on the over the top on the opposite side. How's it going, Jamie?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Hello, Miss Paula.
Hi. How are you?
Hoping I can stay on screen tonight. I don't know what's up with my service.
Don't touch the box.
And normally it's weather for you, Jamie. It seemed like we got a lot of bad weather nights.
Yeah. Tonight is crystal clear and still having trouble.
That's the way it goes sometimes. I want to ask you, Chris, on a lot of your videos, y'all's water is extremely murky, muddy.
Yeah.
Is it like that a lot?
I fish it up by the Red River this time of year, just trying to catch its supersized fish. And
Okay.
I'm right at where the inlet where the river's flowing into the lake. So
Okay.
it's muddy. This time of year when we get big rain, I like to go up into that area where that muddy water's coming in, and it's
Ride that mud line.
loaded. Yeah, I start at the mud line and then work my way up right towards the mouth. And I've caught some of my biggest fish ever.
Y'all been wearing them out. I mean,
We've been lucky. We've been lucky up until last weekend. We didn't fish. My son's got football now, soccer. I'm ready for it to be over, but it's fun. It's a blessing having him playing sports. So I enjoy it, but it's cutting into my fishing time.
I have a new grandbaby. I have we did my radiation treatment last Monday, drove all the way back home. Of course, you feel like crap. And my son messaged me and he says, I can't remember if he messaged or called, and he says, don't panic. Megan's driving to Nashville right now. She was dilated to 8.
Oh man.
And he don't want me to panic. I'm thinking, she's dilated to 8. You know, she's an hour and 20 minutes away from where she needs to be. And she's headed there right in the middle of rush hour traffic. We're going to have a baby on the side of the interstate. But yeah. So
don't panic.
My last treatment was the next day. So I told Ken, I said, let's go up there and we'll spend the night. And that way we'll be there when the baby's born and we won't have to drive home. Well, Ken didn't go for that. He wanted to come home. So we headed up there, and dadgum, I missed it by 5 minutes. We walk into the nurse's station, and I said, Megan, Rochelle, Kathy, and they said, oh, you've missed it just 5 minutes. I was like,
Dog. Yeah, so, I was gonna tell you congratulations. I know me and Rebecca, we saw the pictures and stuff, but congratulations, y'all, Miss Paula.
She is so beautiful, and y'all know how much I hate pink. You know, pink's a weak color. Look at my fingernails; they're pink. So I'm trying to get used to this pink stuff.
Wow, got to love it though. You got to love it.
Yeah, that's the last one. So
So, Paula, I know most of us know what you've been going through. But for those that don't know Paula, she's been an awesome teammate of ours at Carolina Lakeway. She's a really top-notch tournament angler. She fishes her home waters are in Tennessee, but she fishes all over. She's been going through cancer. She's been whooping its butt. She's had a recent bout that's she's battled through again. So, Paula, I just want to say we love you. I'm glad that you're back, feeling well enough to come on the show.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you coming, and I know a lot of people love you, and we've been pulling for you, praying for you. So
I appreciate it. I appreciate
glad
it.
to see that you're back up and running, and I know you got the clearance to fish. So.
Yeah. When my restrictions was no driving, which I didn't want to drive, and no work and no fishing. So the first thing I asked was, can I go fishing yet? You know, that was more important than anything else. Can I go fishing, please? The reason that he said no fishing was if it was rough waters, you can't have any kind of bouncing of the brain, you know. So, and I didn't get to fish the Sea Arc tournament because the treatments, the last I'd say the last 3 radiation treatments, they were so strong that I could taste it, and it literally put me down. You know, it put me on the couch or in the bed. But I mean,
looks like you're doing good. I mean, I know you're not feeling great, but you're looking amazing for what you've been through.
Well, if I turned around and parted my hair, y'all'd go. Because, I mean, they had to cut from the top of my head almost to the bottom of my neck.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You know, and there was no, I mean, it was so aggressive. The tumor was so aggressive. It, about 3 weeks prior to the surgery, I started having headaches. And that was so out of the norm. You know, and I tell everybody, if something feels off, go to the doctor. So I went to my doctor and I said, I'm having headaches and I don't have headaches. Yeah. So he ordered a CT scan and our insurance denied it. So I come home and that after work and everything, and I thought about it and I thought, now how am I going to whoop the insurance company? So the next morning on my way to work, I went straight to the doctor's office and waited for him to get there. And I told him, I said, I'm going to work, and on my way back, I'm going to stop at the emergency room because they can't deny doing the scan.
Yeah.
And I've heard you cuss on the show, so I'm going to say a cuss word. One of the doctors.
I don't cuss.
I do. But one of the doctors I grew up with, he was my oldest brother's age, so we knew each other all of our lives. And he come in and he said, Paula, I'm not going to piss in your boots and tell you it's raining. He said, I need you in an ambulance in Nashville 2 hours ago for emergency surgery. I was like,
holy crap.
Hell. I said, can I call my mama? You know, at least hug my mama's neck before I get on the ambulance. And he said, yeah, you can call your mom. And she got up to the hospital and I hugged her neck. And then next thing I know, I'm on the way to Nashville in the ambulance, going through that phone.
Well, I tell you, Miss Paula, your spirit, myself and Rebecca, we were in Alabama when everything was happening and you were having surgery, and we were praying for you. But your spirit, how you know, you can make other people feel so, you know, joyful inside, even when you're not feeling good. You know, I give you props. You don't give up. Like Chris said, you're the strongest person that I know. I mean, you have that drive to you that's unbelievable.
Thank you. I needed to hear that because I've this time around has been harder mentally. Uh, I was in surgery, and 2 days later I was home, and this day after I got home, I was mowing my yard. You know, but you felt when you have a brain injury, you feel like you're trapped in your head. And I was afraid to say a lot of stuff because I thought if I say something wrong, Ken will put me in a nut house. So I'm just gonna sit over here and nod my head yes or no. And then tomorrow I'm gonna get out there and do what I normally do, and I'll be okay.
I know. I was when you said about making, I guess, a cane or a walking stick. You said you throwed it away, and then I was like, well,
Yeah,
that's Paula. There she is.
I mean, I said, Ken, I don't want a cane. I just want a stick, a walking stick. Well, he goes down the barn and he comes back up with a 10-foot piece of cedar that he planed and curved the corners and everything. And I was like, and I'll get this wrong, but I said, I don't need Joseph's staff, walk up on the mountain. I want a freaking stick. So I walked on the carport and I leaned that thing up and I walked the wood line and I found a stick. You all know what I'm talking about. If you're from the country, you want a stick.
Yes, ma'am.
So I dragged this big long stick over to the patio and I said, now break this off to my level. And he did. And it's still sitting, I don't use it now, but that's my stick.
I I heard that. I was like, well, that's Miss Paula right there.
I mean, I didn't want no fancy piece of cedar to walk around with. I wanted a piece of stick. If I want to sit down and whittle on it, I can, but I used it maybe the first day that I got out, the first day that Ken left, and it was like, oh man, I can do anything I want, because when he was here, I was like, I was being watched, I felt like I was I don't know, in the hole. So when he left, it was like, oh man, I'm fixing to walk all the way down yonder, and the buttercups were blooming. And I've got a field full of them, but it's way down there. So I took my stick and I took off down that road. And, I couldn't bend down because you can't.
Yes, ma'am.
That's my problem now is I can't do this. I can do it, but I'll be back in the hospital. So I have to use my stick, to squat. So I don't have to use my stick anymore.
That's it. That's it. I know everybody in chat, is saying how you're such an inspiration to everyone. Kevin Walters was just saying that. We got a good crowd there tonight.
Yeah, let's run through this crowd. Yeah. We forgot to say hello to everybody. So I know people are rooting for you, Paula. So let's run.
I appreciate it.
We got Whisker Dreams in the house. Welcome in, buddy. We got Trinity Outdoors, one of our Carolina Lake Weights teammates. We got Billy Bever, another one of our Carolina Lake Weights boys. He's our local pastor or our residential pastor of the
Amen.
Team. So appreciate you coming in, Billy. We got Joshua Davis. Welcome in, buddy. We got Eagle Eyes Tienda. That's our Operation Vets with Nets Texas chapter leader. We got Whisker Dream. Already said him. We got Dimitri Lockett. That's one of my buddies that come in town and fished. Welcome in, Dimitri. We got Brandon Ladd, a.k.a. Flathead Hunter. Welcome in, Brandon. Want to get you on the show soon. It's Flathead season, so like to get you on soon, buddy. We got Kevin Walters in the house. Welcome in, Kevin. How you doing, buddy? We got Jeff Martin, my hometown boy. Welcome in, Jeff. We got Doug Smith. Who's that guy?
Don't believe Bleep out all his bad comments.
So Doug
I
is
talked to him prior and I said, don't you post a comment, anything that I'm going to have to kick your butt for.
so for people that don't know, Doug is Paula's fishing tournament partner. He's also now proprietor for what's the name of the catfish trail he's got going?
We're going to keep it North Alabama Catfish Trail.
So they got a tournament series, the North Alabama Catfish Trail. Go check it out if you're in the area. Get in on it. It's going to be a good tournament. Y'all got how many stops planned?
We're planning 15 tournaments for next year.
Man,
now
that's a big run.
It's the same tournament. We got it from Lisa and Terry Haraway. Yep. It's their tournament trail. So, and they run a great tournament trail. In fact, not this weekend, but next weekend, we got a 2-day tournament trail on one day on Wheeler, one day on Wilson. So, you know, they run a top-notch tournament trail, and we're hoping to run as good and bigger, you know, go big or go home.
That's it.
You know,
I wish y'all was a little closer. I'd drag the War Machine, come up there and join you guys for some of those.
Well, come on up. You can stay at my house. It won't cost you a thing.
I might do that. I don't know about dragging that freaking giant boat of mine that far, but maybe I can find somebody that can jump on with them for a tournament or two.
You can jump on my boat.
There you go. I love that. You know I'm game now.
All right, good deal. I didn't let you drive.
We'll let Jackson drive. Oh, man.
That's about like, hey, I'm going to tell you something. He probably drives better than Doug Smith.
He can drive a boat good. He's safe. I've been training him up last 3 years, so he's capable. I wouldn't just let him do it all by himself, but he can drive a boat.
Doug is wide open. I mean, wide open. It's like, you know, and we were fishing a tournament before all this happened, and a friend of ours named Jeff Hall, he caught a huge fish, and we had to take it to be weighed from where the Sea Art tournament is held, and we were on Wilson, you know, and so we're flying off of, I think it was Wilson. Anyway, we're flying, and there's just this narrow gap, you know, to get through, and then it's nothing but woods. And I thought, is he gonna slow down any? You know, this is my boat here. Is he gonna slow down? Because it's like real sketchy to get through that narrow area. And we get right to it, and he just stops the boat, you know, throws everybody, you know, forward. And I thought, all right, buddy, that's how you gonna play. That's how we'll play. So that was pre-fishing. The day of the tournament, it was on Wheeler. The day of the tournament, I was driving, and I was flying up through there, and I slowed the boat down. Doug stood up, and I looked over at Jeff, and I said, watch this. Man, I gunned it, and it threw Doug down. And me and Jeff we were crying. It was so hilarious. He got so mad. It was so hilarious. So, but I told him, I said, this is not good boat safety, you know, going wide open and come to a halt. You know, bad things can happen. That was my point was, you know, I just showed you what you did to us. But it was funny because he went straight down to his face. But we are a good team. We have got to the point where you know how you get fish with somebody long enough that you can think what they're thinking.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask or anything. We're at that point. I know what he's thinking. He knows what I'm thinking. So we're a pretty good team. And then this happened, but You know, this is just a minor setback. I'll be back on the water this weekend.
There you go.
I
There you
bet
go.
you nail them good. But
It
let me
was
finish running down this list. We got Indiana Chris Usselton. Welcome in, Chris. We got Rebecca and Jamie. Those are, I don't know who they are, but we got Mr. Bite Lights, Chuck Watkins. What's up, Chuck? Welcome in, buddy. We got Tub and Tackle. What's up, Don? Welcome in, bro. Glad to have you in here, buddy. We got Corey Whaley. Welcome in, Corey.
Yes.
We got Vess Cooks, one of my local Texas legendary catfishermen. Welcome in, Vess. We got Clayton O'Neill, the certified fishing nut. Welcome in, Clayton. We got Bill Journey. Welcome in, Bill. How you doing, man? Let's see here. Wabash Nate. Welcome in, Nate. How you doing? Joshua Davis. I think he was at the top of the list. We got Bending Tips Catfishing. That's one of our Carolina Lake Weights teammates. Welcome in, buddy. We got Greg Mays. That's one of our new teammates. Greg was on the show last week. Welcome in, Greg. He's got Kevin's. I believe Kevin's in town with him fishing today.
Yeah, them boys were putting some slime on the boat.
It looked like they nailed a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what dragon weights they were using.
I could see them hanging there on the back side. Them boys, Craig talked to me earlier, said they were putting the CLWs to work today.
Oh, yeah. Good deal. I guess they work on that lake. They work good on mine. We got Willie Cahoon. Welcome in, Willie. And Trinity Outdoors. I don't know if I might have already said Trinity. So I think he was at the top of the list. So,
man, we got a good crowd in here tonight.
all of them are great people. You know, the catfish community is a really great community. You know, you've got your soul feud, and in anything in life, you're gonna have, you know, you're gonna have a few that's gonna buck the system, or you know what I'm trying to say.
yeah, there's always a few here, and they rise up and create a little stink. But
Right.
if you just kind of block those people out and send them on their way, they go away real quick.
Oh yeah.
You can't feed their fire because it'll burn your ass up too.
Now all you gotta do is just go out there and show them, you know, hey, this is how it's really done.
That's right. That's right.
You know.
That's
I
it.
think trying to do things to try to have fun, and if it's not fun, then go on. And
Right.
a lot of guys, I think they feed off of drama, and they like to stir the pot. And I don't have time for those types of people. I don't want to be mad about fishing. They can go on, be gone. So
Right, and you know, if of course I use Carolina Lake weights. I drive a white truck. If you drive a red truck, that's your business. It's not mine.
yeah, who cares?
You know, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care how you fish. I love to see the fish you catch, but you know, there's no point in me saying, well, you shouldn't be out there. The water's too choppy. I mean, it's some of the craziest stuff, you know. And
when I was going live, I heard that a lot. Is are you gonna be okay? I'm like, I mean, man,
I'm not stupid.
I'm used to. I mean, it's windy here about half the time. I mean, we are.
Right.
I do have a big boat specifically purchased for this kind of crap.
Right.
They just, you know, I catch a giant fish and they're, well, how's the fish doing? I'm like, I hadn't heard of fish in 30 years. My big fish go back in the lake, they swim back, they go straight down to the bottom. If they don't, I sit there with them until they're, you know.
They're pretty resilient, them catfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when we get new people on the boat, they're like, how long can this fish stay out of water? I'm like, plenty long. I mean, as long as you're not dropping them on their head,
And I've been notorious for dropping fish, but
I mean,
you know,
everybody's has done it a few times.
Oh yeah.
You know, the big ones are hard to handle. You just get better at kind of you got to
yeah.
hug one. You got to hug one. It's not just to show it love; it's to protect that.
Oh, it's to show it love.
Look, yeah, I'm hugging. I'm like, I just don't want to let it go.
That's it.
Yeah. Some of the videos I've watched have made Ken be in the background saying, I know you don't want, you going to release him now? I know you don't want to. It's like, can I take him home? Like I'm going to put him in the bathtub or something. Because, I mean, I'm a firm believer in catch and release.
Yeah.
My son, he just recently got a boat. And, of course, he doesn't fish like we fish. He'll do trot lines, slim lines, but he'll do it correctly. One thing I don't like is limb lines and trot lines because people will leave them there for a year, so forth.
That's been a hot topic lately amongst my people, these jug lines, because I'll point it out. So when I
don't like the jug lines or the.
I'm going down the lake and there's a jug by itself. I know juggers don't put jugs by themselves. That's a lost jug. It's got a fish on it. I'm running the thing every time and
releasing what's on it.
Yeah, I'm turning loose what's on it. And my buddies they're all the same. I got one of my buddies in here, Vest. He pulled a 60-pounder out 2 weeks ago that had been on the jug line for 2 months.
Is that the picture you showed with all the scarring?
That's a different buddy. That's a different buddy of mine. He's a police chief. I'm not going to say his name because I guess you're not allowed to run jugs, but he's a police chief and he ran the jug because it was off by itself, and the fish was just mutilated from being on this. Because guys,
for so long.
Yeah, they leave the jugs unattended and then they swim off.
Right. Now, in the state of Tennessee, I don't know much about jugging because I don't see a lot of it. But you see the pool noodles, you see them floating around a lot.
Technically that's a jug. That's a jugger.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, noodles,
but you see more.
Yeah.
Chris, it's weird y'all going into this. Jeff was just saying that. I saw he was.
Well, Jeff knows because he's been following what's going on my page.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got a lot of trot lines and limb lines, and
I think that's more popular in the river.
Right. And the law is that your name and phone number has to be on it, and you can't leave it. You can go down the Duck River right now and there'll be limb lines. I got a brain injury. I can say whatever I want to. I cut every one of them.
Last Friday I was on the river catching some bait fish, getting ready for a tournament Saturday. DNR, 3 guys on the boat. They come, of course, they check me, but I noticed in the bottom of their boat they were going around, cutting all the set bush hooks off the limbs that was left and stuff. And here you got to have your name, your numbers, and all that on a piece of pipe or whatever. And we had a big conversation about it. And I asked them, I said, when are y'all guys going to ever just do away with this crap? This is the problem that you've got. Then if you got a water skier, that slides that way, gets a hook in them or something. I said, man, that's a lot of hazards that's being left in the water. I said, and they keep telling me there's no way that they're going to get rid of it. It's the way
since I brought the topic up, there's 15 states that already have it almost regulated out.
Yeah.
Really?
And most of it is because of the guys losing their crap in the lake. And it becomes the problem with it floating. I could go on any one of my lakes. I bet you I could go find 100 of them on any one of my lakes. And the majority of them, quite a bit of them have been there for years.
Exactly. When you see a limb line that is you know, the line is turned brown.
Yeah,
It's been there for years.
yeah.
You
There's
know,
slime growing all over it, and it's
yeah.
And that's like I told myself, man, one day I wish y'all would do away with it. They said, well, they don't see in the near future it going away. And I told myself, if you got done away with it tomorrow, I'll be the happiest man there is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but say you're commercial fisherman, and I'm not going to bash a commercial fisherman. Everybody has to make a living.
Yeah,
If they do it honestly,
that's
you
it.
know.
you know, somebody was saying that on my recent post about the commercial fishing. I'm like, well, in Texas, commercial fishing, they've outlawed it on our interior lakes because
Oh wow.
they raped our resource. In Texas, it's like, this is not just their resource. This is all of ours. And you can't, it's not like we can all just go out and harvest all these deer. You know, why are they
Right.
allowed to go harvest all of our catfish that we're all supposed to get to enjoy? And, you know, the guy's like, well, you can't really punish everyone for a few guys that do it wrong. I'm like, there's a way more than just a few guys
Yeah.
not doing it right. And that's the whole
It takes
reason
more
why
than
regulations
two.
changed.
It takes more than two commercial fishermen to wipe out a, you know. So there's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the guys was like, well, you don't see people upset about CPR for cows. I'm like, cows are personal property that are raised for beef. You can raise catfish for the same purpose in a pond.
Right.
And those are your personal property. You can do with them however you want in your pond. But this
And
is
you
a
know-
public deal, and you're harvesting Jamie's fish. You're harvesting Paula's fish. You're harvesting my son's fish. I just don't. To
Right.
me, it's a big difference.
Right.
There's
Don't be
not an
touching
endless
Paula's
resource.
fish.
It's not like it's the ocean where you can go out where
Yeah.
Joe Schmo can't go fish. I mean, you can go out into the ocean where people can't fish and go get fish. But
And that's just like Ben and Tip said, you know, 30 old trout lines within 5 hours of him dragging. That's ridiculous. You know, if you are going to do it, be responsible enough. Take your mess up after you get done. Do
Right,
not
'cause
leave it for other people.
You can get it tangled up in your trolling motor, you know, your prop on your motor.
yeah,
I mean, there's lots of things. Like I said, I'm standing tall here, and I'm proud to say this. I cut them all.
yeah.
I feel you, Miss Paula. I feel you. And that's like I told the DNR, I said, you know, here it is. There's 3 of you in the boat. You're going around doing all this. You know, I'm glad you are. I said, but are you writing the tickets after you find
There's
them?
no enforcement.
And he says they don't. So
There's no enforcement. My buddy Jeff says, I've been there. I've seen how Chris loves them. He knows how I deal with them.
that's it.
What's the knife for? Trot lines.
There's somebody there that's sitting there watching them. You know, I really wouldn't have a problem if there was somebody there who's actually fishing and watching.
Yep.
But
Right.
80% of the ones that I see, there ain't nobody around. They're leaving that shit there all night long, maybe a couple of days, and they come check. And problem is quite a few of them, they drank too much, and it's time to go home on Sunday. They're like, screw it.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving them all in the trees. I'm just
Where did I put that last trot line at?
That's it. That's it. You know, that's like I said, if you're going to do it legal, but take your mess up after you get done. So other people.
I mean, it's just like us as anglers fish responsible, you know.
Right. I think if you respect the resource, you wouldn't. I'm not allowed to go to a public park and leave a pile of trash there and say, I'm coming back tomorrow to get it. But you can leave a whole string of bleach bottles in the lake, 100 of them, and say, I'll be back in 2 days. To me,
I mean,
that
I
makes
think they're
zero
supposed to be run. Like if you put them out, say this afternoon, you go in the morning and run them. If you put them out in the morning, you run them tomorrow afternoon.
I
Ain't
think
it like an
you should be
8
there
hour?
watching them if they go down because big fish swims off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pulling giant fish off of trot lines ever since I could remember. Off the jug, and the jug is there's no line of jugs anywhere near the thing. A big fish gets it and just swims off. It's like nobody there to check it. The big fish is going
Now, yeah,
himself up and kill. He's dying or
yeah. If
work themselves off. I've caught big fish with just the whole side
ripped off.
ripped out, and I know that was a jug. I mean,
If you're putting out jugs, yeah, you stay out there with them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. You know, because there's no telling where they're going to wind up.
They don't respect the resource. They just want it for the meat. They're actually there to go catch another species of fish. So they set their jugs out in the morning. They go fish all day long. And when they're done, they go run their jugs. Well, the big fish has swam 2 miles up into the cove. He's up into the tree now trying to get that damn thing off of him. And, I just feel like, I don't like people keeping big fish, but I really don't like people just killing them like that. And they're not even getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, the guy's like, man, you're too worried about the way other people are doing stuff. I'm like, when it infringes on the rest of us or what my son's going to be able to do in the next 10 years, I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it is hurting the fishery.
And you can't fault us for trying to protect what we love.
Right. That's just like bass fishing. They're not as resilient as a catfish when it comes to weighing. You put them in a live well and you go weigh them in, and it's 30 minutes before you can weigh yours in. Bass can't take that like a catfish can. And I'm not bashing bass fishing. I like to bass fish every now and then. But they need to come up with and I think they have, where they take pictures, on the boat when they catch it. They weigh it, write it down, or video it or whatnot. They've tried. And the catfish world needs to do the same thing when it comes to saving our fisheries, protecting our resource.
One thing I hear these guys that are big fish killers say is, oh, well, that fish died anyway because of the stress of catching it. I'm like, that's just not true. I've known, like, for instance, our state record, they caught it. They took it all the way down to Athens to the Texas Freshwater Fisheries Center, and that thing lived in a tank. I mean, it's a tank, but it was really like a pond with plexiglass or whatever you could see into the pond.
Right.
It's been there for 5 years. And, Micah Burkhart, he caught a 221 pounder. And the next year he caught the same fish. It was 223 pounds. So,
whoa, back up there. 100 and.
I mean, 100. Sorry. 123 pounds. So, yeah, they survived. They survived. And I've caught fish missing eyeballs and side of their face ripped off. I caught a fish with no bottom jaw. It's a 50-pound fish. The jaw had been gone for I don't know how long, for a long time. It had learned to feed and be just fine with no bottom jaw. It was surviving.
Yeah, catfish are pretty, they can survive a lot better than people think.
So when somebody tells you, oh, that fish would have died from the stress of catching it, that's baloney.
Yeah, and that's what you need to say.
Yeah, I do. I defend them a lot. I try to stand up for what I believe in, even though it tends to – that's a sore subject for big fish killers. But you're not going to change those types of people's minds. Guys like, you got to educate them. I'm like, they know. They're not changing their minds.
like I was watching the chat, there is a right way, wrong way. Everybody has their opinions and stuff. I myself hope everybody just makes the right decisions and do the right things. If that was the case, you wouldn't have half the problems. Somebody would just stop and say, okay, look here, I got an 80-pound fish. I want to take care of this fish. Take your pictures, release it back. That's all your 5-pounders. If you want to take one home to eat, that's cool. But
Right.
just take that second and just stop and say, okay, I want to do the right thing. If a lot of people would just do that, we wouldn't have half the problems.
Right.
I really believe you could harvest a lot of eaters before you would ever have a negative impact on the fishery. They say that catfish, to get to the big size, it's like 1 in 10,000 or something crazy. I mean, they just don't get that big. They have a high mortality rate up until they're like 8 or 9 years old, and then they start having a longer lifespan. But up until then, they don't and not all of them are capable of getting 50 plus pounds. Some of them are only ever going to get 8 pounds, and that's it.
Right.
And
it depends on the gene.
There's a million of them in there. There are a million of them in there, but the reason there's that many is so that finite few can get up to the size that's really, an adult, full-sized blue catfish. So
right.
They don't want to hear that from us.
I know. I'll go in a store here in my hometown. Somebody will run up to me and say, "Oh, we caught a so-and-so size flathead, a 40-pound flathead." I said, "Where at?" And they said, "On the Duck River." And then they tell me the location, and I'm thinking, man, I said, "Did y'all release it?" It was trot line. And I said, "Did you release it?" "No, we carried it home." And I'm thinking, you just wanted to kind of like, because that's too big of a fish to eat.
Yeah.
You're going to get so much fat that, you know what I'm saying? Let that fish go, because his genes or her genes or whatnot need to keep going. Keep a 10-pound flathead. I don't even like to see anybody keep any flatheads, because
I'm kind of the same way, because
they're not as plentiful.
Correct. There's not as many of them.
Learn to eat crappie. They're good.
Yeah, or even small catfish. If you want to eat 3-pounders, there's plenty of those.
Yeah.
They call them eaters for a reason. They call it, I mean.
Exactly. Just, you're never going to get everybody to understand what we understand. But if just say 50% of the catfishing world would, participate in telling their friends, "Hey, 10 pounds or less, that's okay. But 10 pounds or more, let them go." They've got the potential to become the next state record or world record.
Anybody that does it knows how difficult it is to catch a big one, and also how easy it is to catch small ones. If you're going to eat them, use the ones that they're so plentiful and easy to catch. The big ones are just not easy. They're easier for others to catch. Some people can catch them better than others, but as far as just the regular guy, it's not easy catching a big 50-pound fish. Why would you want to kill that thing? It makes no sense.
I know that. I cannot comprehend why you would want to kill it. I do a lot of research on contamination. A fish that big, I mean, if a pregnant woman ate that, it could deform the baby.
That's what I've told people. Yeah. Like, if you've got a child and you're feeding him that stuff, you are potentially hurting your kid.
Right.
Toxic stuff, because they're filter feeders. I mean, they're eating filter feeders. they're what they're eating is eating on the bottom, and then they come eat that, and it accumulates over 15, 20 years. It doesn't
Right.
leave the system.
And Chris, could you imagine, Miss Paula, if everybody done it the right way, they took their eaters, and could you imagine at the big fish population, even more would start steadying going up if you start getting rid of a lot more of them eaters?
Yeah. Uh-oh. I think I dropped out that time. I froze up. You hear me? Jamie Dunn.
Hey, I got you, brother.
Okay. We lost Paula.
Oh, what?
Eric Vincent, what's up, buddy? Welcome in. We just lost Paula. I had everything froze up on my end. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't either, man. I tell you, tonight's been a rough night with service or something. I don't know what's going on.
There's Paula. She's back.
Yeah, y'all got some mighty power here. Y'all freaking me out.
Everybody's playing Houdini tonight.
Yeah, we're swapping places and
Catfish Junkie says, damn, you're making me feel bad. I recently smoked an 18-pound blue on a pellet grill. Well, all I can say is I'm not going to hate on you for it, but an 18-pound blue takes a long time to get to that size.
18 pound, I'm not trying to, I ain't going to wish nothing. I ain't going to get a voodoo doll out tonight, but that 18-pound blue had the potential to become a state record,
Yeah. And I think, that 18-pound blue could have been 12 years old, could have been 10 years old, could have been 15 years old. But I just feel like, a fish that's 5 pounds, 3 to 5 pounds is, 4 or 5 years old. There's a bunch of those. Even an 18-pound fish, it's not like you just go catch a bunch of those. And that right there, an 18-pounder is right on the edge of starting to really be something.
And it could have even been younger than what you're saying if it come from a fishery that has a good food source. I mean, it could have been 5-6 years old.
Certain fish just have an exponential a growth rate that's just much different than the majority of them. You don't know which one that is going to be. Some of these largest fish actually have a pretty fast growth rate. You can become giant sized in 15 years, but you can also only be 8, 9, 10 pounds, 12 pounds, 15 pounds in that same time period. So that's why I say once they start getting up to that size, there's not a million of those in the, you're not catching a ton of that size. It's right there at that size where they start becoming something that I think, and even 10 pounds and up, I turn all those loose as well.
Yeah. Going back to the contamination, 10 pounds and less is you get less contamination.
Yeah.
Because they're not as
I'm also nervous because it came out of the Mississippi River. Well, there's also a lot of so, you got to think. Let's say it was 11-year-old fish. 11 years of eating filter feeders. How much crap does a filter feeder suck up off the bottom, and it congregates, and then he eats 1 million of those in his 11 years of being? It's quite a bit of.
I don't want to make you sick to your stomach, whoever caught this 18-pound in the Mississippi River, but the Mississippi River in Memphis is fifth largest contaminated river
So other
Arsenic.
than like heavy metals and PCBs, what's in the water that stays in the water a long time? I know there's a lot of petroleum products from automobiles, but you also got pesticide runoff
Yeah.
from agricultural industry. You've got
Any kind of ash pond from a coal plant, you get a lot of leakage, and you get fish that have.
a lot of lead.
You're right.
A lot of lead, heavy metals. I think
Mercury, lead, arsenic. I mean, it would blow your mind to read. I mean, a lot of it you can't even pronounce.
so. Arsenic's one of the most lethal compounds to the human body, and these fish are concentrating it, and then you're going and eating that thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's something worth thinking about.
Makes me want to eat a salad instead.
There you go. But then you got to think about where the lettuce come from. Where
That's it. That's it.
So grow your own. I mean, not only. I mean, think about it. All these chemicals and stuff, they're cancer causing.
That's why cancer rates are so high. It's it's in our food supply, and people think, oh, Catfish Junkies what? He said, well, to my eyes, it looked clean.
You can't see the poison.
That's true. Can't see the poison. So,
but you can taste it. I know you can taste radiation.
Yeah, but if you could fry a rat. It tastes,
it probably you wouldn't know you're eating a rat.
Yeah, so
I tell you,
if you fry anything, it probably tastes pretty good.
If you start glowing that night, you knew you eat too much of that stuff. Plain and simple.
And don't get mad at us.
Junkie says, I caught it in Vicksburg next to the industrial park.
Oh no. Oh man, you just signed your death warrant. I'm kidding. You just know better now.
Yeah, but I would just say, we have lakes that have consumption bans on them because the PCBs in the 60s and 70s that they used in the manufacturing of, a lot of manufacturing was done here in the United States, and they built stuff right next to the waterway. They used to dump that stuff right into the freaking river, right into the lake.
They still do.
And it's still the stuff that they dumped in there 50 years ago is still in the ecosystem and is not breaking down. So,
mercury, for instance.
Yeah.
If we had an incident on the Buffalo River back in the 80s, and there's still a no consumption on the Buffalo River. Now, that's what, 40 years ago? That's pretty potent.
And see, that's like here on some of our local rivers. They tell you because of the mercury, don't eat with so much freshwater fish.
Yep.
Because of it.
Okay, when you read that,
a big amount of these fisheries tell you don't eat fish more out of these fisheries more than once a month, and just because of that reason, that mercury level is.
When you see that or you read that, does your mind think, man, I don't even know if I want to touch this thing? Much less eat it. I mean, I can't understand why anybody would want to eat something where the government or
if they're telling you that it's probably not good to eat, it's 10 times as worse as what they're telling you.
Yeah.
Right. They're not going to tell you. Exactly.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if the government or whoever is telling you, you might not want to eat this more than once a month, it's probably not even safe.
You might not want to. Yeah, you might not want to eat this. Period. It's probably what needs to be said. Because the government's going to look out for us.
That's it.
Dan. Lake Worth. The reason Lake Worth's such a great fishery is because it has that consumption ban. And my buddy Jesse fishes the lake, and he said yeah, it's got a lot of great fish in it, but even though it's got the consumption ban, and I still see guys taking pictures with these big fish from Lake Worth at their house on the back of their tailgate. And even though they tell you do not eat this fish out of this lake, there are still guys that are willing to eat that fish out of that lake. They just
Maybe they didn't get the memo.
like,
Or they're just
okay,
braver than we are.
you got what you get. You're gonna get what you
I ain't brave no more.
Junkie says there's an area in Mississippi I'm scared to light a match.
Wow. Jeez.
Oh,
That's
man.
bad.
I think most of our rivers, major rivers, are polluted at this point to a probably to a level that's not safe to eat the fish, even though they're still catching them commercially and
Selling them. You know, I think that if the government knows about it, which they do, I think that on all these restaurants that has these great fish, the best catfish restaurant in this town, whatnot, there should be a thing on the front door when you walk in. Consumption of catfish could cause harm to your unborn child.
Yeah. Do not eat if you're pregnant or nursing.
Right.
If you're a developing child, not safe to eat. Not, we do not recommend you eating
catfish.
When I was a lot littler, I was under the conception that a lot of the rivers was like a filtration. They filtered their own cells. But the more I got older, then you start reading on a lot more stuff. That's not true.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff they've outlawed from when we were kids.
Yeah.
Because that over a longer period of time, it still remains in the environment and does not break down. Like these pesticides that we all used to use in our house, they don't allow it anymore because people used to scatter it all around their house to prevent, everything from termites to cockroaches to coming in. Turns out it'll kill you, and it stays in the system. You're like poisoning your house for your kids to go play in.
Yeah.
Well, look at
why this kid got cancer when he was 40. Well, he played in it.
That's it. Look at this. When you take your boat to the river, look at the stain. When you pull that boat out, look at the stain on the side of that boat when you get done. You tell me if you want to eat a lot of fish out of our river systems anymore. I mean,
right.
It's ridiculous.
Dan, so the farm-raised crap from China and even the farm-raised stuff from here, from what I understand, okay, here's the issue with the farm-raised stuff. Okay, they're feeding them these types of feed that has been treated with all these chemicals flowing into the river. So you're eating something that is fed these grainy type products, fish food and whatever that has been sprayed with all kinds of toxic crap. And so it's even worse. I don't know if it's worse, but you're
just
correct.
as bad.
It is not good. What do you eat? I don't know. I mean, it costs more to really eat healthy and to find things that are more organically produced where they're not sprayed with chemicals. And I didn't care until we had my son, and I'm starting to read and I'm like, okay, well, they say that like soy, okay, it's one of the most genetically modified organisms on the planet. Well, they're finding out that it turns into estrogen in the body. So it causes cancer and it turns boys into girls. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to feed my son soy, even if everything's got it in there. Everything has got
everything
soy byproduct. And you wonder why all these boys now are feminized. There's a lot of reasons, but it's partially because of the stuff they're eating. And so I know we're going off on a tangent, but Yes, the food supply is toxified. I don't know really how you find something that's clean to eat, but
Okay, you go to the grocery store and you buy eggs.
yeah.
Okay, what are
We
you
don't buy
buying?
eggs.
Or
We got chicken.
Or chicken. You're buying it that's been cooped up in this chicken house, shot up with God knows what,
Yeah.
and you're bringing it home and you're cooking it.
So one thing about the chicken feed that I learned from having my own backyard chickens is they put arsenic in chicken feed. And so arsenic is one of the most toxic things for a human. Why would they put it in a chicken feed? Well, they do it to, I don't know, to kill disease and whatever, but it also kills you. And
Right.
so I end up having to buy this $high chicken feed that's arsenic free and organically grown grains and doesn't have soy in it, because of chicken that's fed soy has soy in the egg. And
you don't like soy.
I'm not eating soy. But I'm all man, and my son's all man, while all his friends are eating soy and they're girly boys. So
there you go.
If it costs a little more to have my son not be a trans whatever,
that, or later in life get cancer, or slow ADHD. I mean, everything that we buy off the shelves at the stores, even the canned beans or canned it's got some kind of poison in it. It's got preservatives that's keeping it the same color, keeping it. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I've got this book.
Dan Weldon says I'm off the chart.
I cannot wait to see the reviews on this show tomorrow.
I've got this book. It's an herbal book, and I'm not gonna try to break religion on y'all, but God created this world. He created Earth. Everything has a reason. Every tree, every weed. We can live if something happened and you had to go, what do you call it? Off the grid.
Yeah.
I could live off the grid. If that happened and I could keep my book with me, I could live off the grid, because it shows me so many things and of course, if you go off the weekend, by the time you get back to the house, you've already been to college for 8 years of, stinging nettle, the devil's walking stick. And there's this one, if you break it open, and it's not milkweed, but it's another one. It milks, and it's almost like morphine. You have to cook it down, and it's like morphine. But you can't really go out and just say what I just said to all these people that's listening, because you're going to have a select few that's going to think, well, I can go out here and pick this weed and chew on it because it's morphine and I'm going to get high. So if somebody dies the next week that was watching this show, we're not liable.
Nope. Watch at your risk. Watch at your own risk. That's going to be a new warning before the show goes on. Watch at your own risk.
Yeah, we're not responsible for what happens to you after the show.
There's no telling what we're going to talk about.
It is sad. It is sad what my grandkids, your son, the small.
It's scary, Paula. It's scary what these kids are going to have to deal with. We have no idea.
Right.
It's changed so much since when we were kids. It's just a completely different world we live in. I know it makes us seem old, and I mean, we are old, but
I'm old.
You say, oh, those were the good old days, but my goodness, I mean, where are we headed? It's scary, and
I am scared for your son's generation and my grandchildren's generation. I'm scared for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
As my grandfather used to say, things is sure different. Before he passed, he said
Man,
back in the day, things were a lot different than they
yeah,
yeah,
what
we
they
didn't
are
have
now.
nearly. I mean, we had stuff to worry about, but it wasn't like now. What
Yeah.
these kids,
like
they just
going fishing, cooking the fish from Mississippi River, and
yeah.
it poisoning yourself. I mean,
At my son's age, I was allowed to leave the house in the morning and be gone all day long. He's 8. I wouldn't dare allow him to leave the house, and I don't even want him getting out of eyesight. Really, I mean,
right? I wouldn't. I
there's
would
just
not let
so
them out of
many
eyesight.
crazy, weird people, and there might have been weird. I'm sure there was some weird people then, but it
There
just seems
was.
like
Don't you remember Charles Manson?
yeah, but
There
it
was
just
weird
seems like
people.
there's so much more of it now. It's just
Yeah.
much more
Yeah.
prevalent.
Yeah, and it's the drug problem. There's so many
Doug
problems.
says back to fishing. Well,
Yeah.
Doug, last time Paul was on the show, we got into talking about Indian artifacts. I think it's a breath of fresh air sometimes to be able to. Our show is unscripted and uncensored. So
Thank God.
That's why
Yeah.
so many people love us, man. They never know what they're gonna get or hear on the show.
Chuck says, I'm older than y'all, but thankful for how I grew up and the generation we had. And I'm the same way, Chuck.
Yeah.
I've been reminiscing the last week on some of my Facebook posts about the bicycle that we used to ride and the motorcycle and just it's just a different
Well, you
time.
probably put your bicycle together.
Yeah, I mean, and it was like a kid's. It was part of who you were. And my son, he rides a bike, but it's not like he's not glued to that thing, going all over the freaking
Yeah.
countryside on that thing because he's not allowed to. I mean, that freedom's been taken away, and that bicycle's a kid's first little taste of freedom, where you can go down to the lake 3 miles from your house and fish all day long.
Right.
Everybody there to tell you what you can and can't do. You just had to go figure it out. And if you had problems with your friends, not any adult there to supervise you. You figured it out.
Right. You didn't pull a gun out and shoot them.
Kids got somebody standing over them these days, telling them how they have to act. It's
right.
Yeah.
And the best thing that we as adults can do is try to get them into fishing, hunting, get them into that great outdoors.
Yeah.
I'm going to say fishing just like y'all going to say fishing.
Yeah.
But just even if it's just getting them into the outdoors, I think that'll help them a whole lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to be learned way beyond the fishing from being outdoors.
If you live where I live, you turn the local news on and it's gotten so bad in Nashville. I guess it's almost like Dallas. There's a shooting all the time. And, they interview somebody that lives at the same apartment complex. And they said, well, something's got to change. And I thought, yeah, let's make Nashville grow. That's what happened. You wanted Nashville to grow. Well, it grew. And this is the results of growing.
Yeah. And that's bad when you stand less. I see it in chat. You stand less a chance happening to you by going to the river fishing at night than you do actually going to a convenience store. Yeah. I mean, I just seen that in chat. That's wild. If you stop and think about it, that's crazy to me. Because when you walk into a convenience store,
you don't know what's
going to happen. You stand more of a chance for something happening there.
Right. I told Ken every time we'd get in Nashville, we'd get stopped at a red light, I'd say, don't look over. Don't look at nobody because they might shoot you. and that's the truth. They might shoot you just for the heck of it.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on in these people's crazy lives. They might decide to go cuckoo on you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true though. It does. It happens.
And see, we're not used to it like, say, you, because you live in Texas, and Dallas has been big for years.
Yeah.
We're not used
to the thing about Texas. A lot of us, almost, I don't know, close to 45% of us are armed. And I think, man, you're really taking a criminal to go do a crime against another person is really taking it. There's, life into their own hands, because we all carry guns, and you just might get your ass shot. You try to steal somebody else's stuff, or
yesterday, we live on a dead end road, and yesterday my dog started barking, and Kim was here, and he said, somebody must be here to see you. And I looked out the window and I said, I don't recognize that vehicle, and they awful brave to drive all the way up this road, and then turn around right beside our vehicles. That's pretty brave.
Yeah.
Because I'm like you, I carry, and I won't stop pulling that trigger till it won't shoot no more.
Yeah,
that's it. I know
we stand our ground here, and it's legal. Yeah. I mean, anybody tries to get your stuff, I mean,
I know when we went up to Louisville, Kentucky for the Catfish Conference, I love everybody up there. Don't get me wrong, but we live in a little bit more of a country area. Chris,
it makes me nervous going to that.
You know where I'm going with this. We stayed in an area where I was watching the front door, walking in the front door backwards, so I don't turn my back to the street.
I bet I know what you're talking about. The first Catfish Conference we went to, we stayed in a shady, and from then on, it was like, I don't care if we have to drive 45 minutes. We're going to get on the outskirts of the, get our throats cut.
That's it. But, that's I'm not used to the big city life by no means. We're like Chris. Here, if you do something against somebody, you can probably look that family or somebody. Y'all take it how you want to. Don't go out and do something stupid. But if you get in a fight with somebody, they're going to throw back at you. That's the way they're going to sell it, just like that here in the country. But, in
the city, if you do something to somebody, they're going to go get the neighborhood gang, and they're going to come shoot up the whole freaking neighborhood.
That's it. But, yeah, hey, guys, love y'all guys out there. Don't go do none of this stuff we're talking about.
No, we're just hypothetically speaking.
Yeah. But, Miss Paula, I know you said you're ready to get back out there and go fishing. What's your plans? What you got?
I'm gonna hook up to that boat, and I'm gonna unload her, and I'm gonna go out there, and I'm gonna find my fish, and I'm gonna I'll probably pull boards and drag. Doug loves to pull boards. I love to pull boards too. The only time I really like riding the rope is probably the dead part of the winter, and then I'll only sit on a spot for, I got a time limit. But I've got that one tournament in 2 weeks. And I don't know. The first thing I may do is back that boat off that trailer and take off like somebody's after me. I cannot wait. It's just, it's unexplainable. God has, I beat death. It's a miracle I am sitting here. So I'm going to enjoy every minute that I have. God has kept me here for some reason, and I will do whatever that is.
I can tell you this: it's probably to give all us inspiration, because I'm gonna tell you from your stories, from your pictures and stuff. Like I said earlier, myself and Rebecca, you fill us with full of that inspiration. You make our days when we see you do your videos. Right after surgery. I mean, we love you, girl. I mean, you make us warm our heart and stuff.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. But y'all don't realize how much what you're saying pushes me to push myself to not give up.
That's
so basically, I'm reversing this on you. Y'all inspire me. I'm just another human being, live out in the Hicks and pray to God this is the only place I ever have to live, except heaven. And I like to hunt. I like to fish. I like to dig worms. I'm Chris. I'm not like, I wasn't a boy that ate all these chemicals and turned into a girl.
Thank God. Oh man.
I am a huge
Paula, when I was a kid, we were raised to be masculine and tough, and boys with muscles was a good thing, and girls that looked like girls was a good thing. Now the lines are so muddy and hazy. You don't know what a boy or a girl is, and if a guy's real fit, that's the guy that gets picked on now. And so, I'm like, what? And
I would hate to be you.
I don't understand it. To me, I don't understand it. It's
because you've got to have this conversation with your son.
Yeah.
At some point.
One thing that I'm proud that people say is, you are so lucky. Your son is all boy. And I'm like, thank God. And
yes.
I'm like, thank God. Because even the other boys, even on his football team, they're just not manly type boys. They're really soft, feminized. When a kid falls down and gets a little scrape, they're all running over there to him. Oh my God, Johnny's got a scrape. And when my son falls down and gets a little boo-boo,
shake it off and get back out there.
Get up. Do not shed. You better not be shedding a tear.
After this show, nobody's going to like us three.
The coach is like, I love it. He's like, we need more.
You got to make them tough.
I was like, we're not going to have any. I won't say the word. We're not going to have any sissies in our family.
You said it exactly. I mean, But maybe this is a double standard. But my granddaughter, if I live long enough, she's gonna have dirt under her fingernails. She's gonna be picking up worms, and she's gonna know how to fish.
Yeah.
She's going to know how to skip rocks across the creek, but she's not going. I'm in your lane right now. I'm trying not to say what I shouldn't say.
I know.
She's not going to have a shaved head and,
blue and pink hair with bones in their nose and spacers in their ears. I'm like,
hey, don't say I got a nose ring.
No, bones.
Oh, no bones. No bones.
Like, I can't get a job. I'm like, yeah.
Well, get the bone out of your nose.
You got spacers in your bones in your nose, and your hair is pink and blue. I mean, who would want
and green?
I wouldn't hire your ass either.
Exactly. But you got to think, do you blame the child? No. Because there's a parent somewhere that's feeding this child that's got orange, green, purple hair. If I had an underage child right now and they said, oh, I'm going to dye my hair, get me some Kool-Aid, and I'm going to do my hair green and purple and pink. Yeah, when you turn 18, you can do whatever you want to, but
Yeah,
as long as
don't
you're
have
living right
to in
here.
my house. And it even starts at like 2 years old when the kid's saying, I want to try mom's shoes on. I'm like, most kids do that at a certain point. I want to put my shoes. I say, you're not putting mom's shoes on because
But you're welcome to try that.
boys don't wear girls' clothes. Problem solved. But if you say, oh, look, Johnny's so cute in mom's shoes, and now we're putting makeup. I mean, it's kind of confusing. Kid don't know. And it's like,
Jamie's making me laugh. But you're so right.
That's it.
For me, it's like, makeup doesn't belong on a boy at 2 years old or 3 years old, and he doesn't need to be wearing mom's shoes and trying to play dress up as a girl because.
And he don't need to be playing with Barbie or Ken.
No.
I mean, get him slingshot.
Yes.
I want to take one out of Jeff's book here. How about them Mad Cat rides?
Boys and girls can use.
Oh, man.
I knew we would do this. We would get on here and get laughing and talking about something crazy. But I mean, we're not lying.
A little bit crazy.
Hey, this is what we do.
Yeah, I enjoy being on y'all show, and I do want y'all to know, and everybody in chat, that y'all's prayers and just sticking by me, you don't know how much it helps a person. Like when Leanne was sick, when she was sick, when you see 200 something people got on there and said prayers or put that care thing, that means something. It keeps you going. So, that's what I love about the catfish community is they stick together. I remember laying in the hospital bed and hearing Ken talk to Steve Douglas, and it was like, wow, and then I was out because it was pain med time, but it just, it pushes you, or for me, it pushes me to go on, instead of, I'm tired of this, no more. If next week I was to go to the doctor and they said, well, we see a mass in your pinky, I'm going to say, well, set up an appointment so we can shoot that thing with some radiation. I am not a quitter.
Doug says, I'm going to go find me a fishing podcast now.
I'll tell you something. He is the hardest person to be on the boat with.
Says joking Chris and Paula talks about everything and nothing.
And you're the nothing part, Doug.
Chuck says she doesn't know how to quit. There is no quitting Paula. There's no doubt.
But none at all.
One of the things we love about her. That's what makes her awesome.
And that's why if I was a big catfishing your way, Miss Paula, I would be worried. I would definitely be worried because I know you wouldn't quit until you got me.
No, I mean, I would literally, if I didn't think that I would be able to get it in the boat with the rod and the reel, I would jump in that water and tackle that fish. I mean, that's how much I'm obsessed with it. It's crazy. It's literally crazy.
And that's probably what drives a lot of people in the catfishing world now, is targeting them big fish. It's a session. It's something that we all dream of catching that record. And that drives us day in and day out. And I love that.
It used to be just catching that big fish. Now it's being able to find the fish. locate the bait, locate the fish. I mean, that's just as important because you ain't gonna find that big fish if you don't know where he's at. Researching it. I mean, there's nothing about fishing that I dislike. I love the slime on my clothes. I love them to bite my freaking hand. I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
it's an obsession.
chewed up hand is definitely something that's no denying what kind of angler you are. When I went to CatCon, Jamie's like, "Damn, son," I'm like, "Yeah, I'm proud of him. I'm
Yeah,
proud of him."
battle scar.
That's like
He's like, "Ain't
Rebecca.
no denying what you've been doing."
Yeah,
That's like Rebecca. She doesn't want to wear gloves. She wants to reach down that water and bring them right up in the boat. She's like, "Don't give me them daggone gloves. I don't want that
yeah,
crap."
yeah. And here we are talking about poisons and whatnot, and here they are biting us and breaking our skin. But
Yeah.
hey, I'm still going to do it.
That's it.
It's just something about that battle scar. I go to work, my hands be all eat up, and be like, man, I had a good day yesterday.
You look down at your hands, and go, man, that was a good trip.
Yeah, what happened to your hand? Oh man, you wouldn't believe, you just get so excited. They look at you like an idiot, like you think that was fun. It's like, well, yeah, it's more fun than being out here working.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I think the longer you do it, your expectations kind of change as you get better, and you start feeling like, okay, now I'm doing something, and guys like, man, you got high expectations. And I'm like, yeah, but I've been doing this a long time. I expect something crazy to happen when it's big fish season every trip.
Yeah,
I want something really cool that's exciting. It gets me going. I mean, that's really why I'm out there. It's that feeling of me and a kid again that really gets you.
about doing what you've done.
That's it.
And if you
Man,
have an
we really
off
did
day,
something today. I mean, I feel good. I'm
yeah,
feeling good, and I know how long that it's an ongoing deal. It's not like, okay, we caught it, and then, a lot of guys are like, la di da, we got a 50-pounder, but that ain't me. When I catch a 50-pounder, I'm excited. It's going to carry on with me for at least through the next weekend, and usually several weeks. I mean,
and Chris, that's what drives us, here, myself and Rebecca, all of us here at CLW, is we cannot wait. We want, we drive on people getting out there, getting their PBs. We love hearing about that on using our stuff, man. That drives us day in and day out.
We talked about that today, Jamie. I love seeing other people catching fish and having a good time. It brings like a kinship. I like to be part of that. That's one cool thing about Carolina Lake Weights. I like being part of it. Is we're all catching these big fish on this same stuff, and we share this kind of brotherhood and sisterhood. And
that's it. And we get up every morning bright and early. Once I quit here, I'm Rebecca. She's nonstop all the way up to 12, 1, 2 in the morning. We just drive on that because when people text us or they call us and say, hey man, look here, I just caught my PB using your rig or using your dragging weights, that drives you. Even though I'm not out there as much as
makes you feel proud.
It does. It makes you feel good. And we love that, man. We love that. And all I can say is welcome to the family, everybody.
Yeah. This is a good group of people, Carolina Lake Weights. It's a really good, solid group of people. You don't see the drama. You don't see the, the way over my head. I don't want to listen to that no more. It's solid. And that's what everything needs to be, solid.
I see a lot of the people that are in the Carolina Lake Weights family pulling for each other. I'm on a bunch of different teams. It is not normal to be that way.
Right.
It's like when you do something cool, some of these other places, it's like crickets. Like,
right.
oh, like
Boom, you out.
I thought, man, shouldn't my people like be congratulating me? But over here it's genuine. People are happy to see you doing good, proud of you, and it's like, okay,
that's solid. That's your people.
It makes you feel good to be part of. It's a real family. It's not just every man for himself and look at me type deal. It's look what Paula did last week, and
delete her. I don't see that no more.
Yeah, let me not say anything. To me, sometimes silence is really.
Yeah, let me snooze her for 30 days. I'm mad she caught a fish picking me.
And that's like we tell all of our customers. My cell phone number is right there. Day or night, man, if you're out there, you need anything, or you just caught your PB at 2 a.m. and you're like, man, I want to talk with somebody. Call me, tell me. It's exciting.
I'm fixing to start wearing it out.
Well, I tell you, we've had it to happen, and we love it. We love hearing from all of our family, and when I say family, they're all of our customers. They're our family. Once you're a customer, you're family for life. And we love hearing those stories.
Right.
And we were talking earlier, Chris, it's amazing. When somebody catches their PB, they're very proud. We all should be cheering for them and saying, man, great job. Or,
congratulations,
That's it.
That's exactly how I feel. And, it seems like people are getting further and further away from that.
A lot of people worries about, a lot of people worries about sales, pushing their products. Okay, don't get me wrong, we do too. But
you're trying to make a living, Jamie. You got to make a living. But one thing I think that's different about Carolina Lake Weights is you're not always comparing yourself to somebody else. You just staying in your lane, doing your thing, trying to help your people, doing what makes
mine and your
different. It's just
when you're good to your people, they're gonna be here for you. They are going to support you regardless. But I can tell you, man, like I said, once you hear, your family for life.
Yeah, guys, I think that's what's really different is Carolina Lake Weights. Yeah, got a great product. That's first, but beyond that, it's people like Paula. It's people like all our teammates, and really the customers. Once you become part of Carolina Lake Weights, you get in there, and we all know each other. I don't know that there's any other brand that's really like that, where all the customers are.
There's not. There's that I know of. And I'm in a lot of groups. And it's like, I don't know. Y'all hating on each other too much. I ain't about that.
We've been very blessed to have the people that supported us. We've got, I think, the best team that there is. Plain and simple, hands down. We love everybody. But like I said earlier, if myself, Chris, we shoot information off each other. Rebecca, she is the backbone of CLW. She even when I go to bed, sometimes she's still up out here making drifting weights by herself, making sure we can put out the best stuff we can. And she loves everybody. That girl is hardcore. And Paula, I tell you, we sit there many nights talking about you, praying that, like I said, she smiles every time, she gets a chance to talk to you and stuff.
Bless her heart. You tell her we're going fishing one of these days.
I'm going to have to get her back out there. I told her she's working too hard.
Yeah, I tell her she's going to have to take a break because we're going to have to go fishing.
That's it.
I may super glue my hands to my boat. So that's all I can do. Ken just have to drop me off at the river. All I can do today.
Tournament director slash owner slash, I don't even know the terminology, but when are y'all going to fish? Can you fish your own tournament trail? I mean, Doug, when are you going to fish? Paula, I mean, when are you going to fish if your tournament partner's running the tournament?
Well, one tournament that we do have planned for next year is here in my area. If you catch a big fish in my area, you have accomplished something. I mean, because it's hard.
It's just a fishery, or the bush hookers have hauled them all out of there?
It's a long stretch of the Tennessee River that widens into the Kentucky Lake, Tennessee River, from Pickwick to Kentucky Dam. It's hard. You got to know, you know what I mean? If you catch a big one out here, you have accomplished something. So Doug said he was going to fish it. And I said, well, I might not fish it. I might be the one standing on the bank, but I'm going to tell my local guys every spot to go to. Really, I guess that's how you can, because we're new at this, he may fish one and I fish the next one.
Doug says he's fishing the tournaments. Keep the boat count up.
I mean, I don't know if a lot of people will, I guess you're just going to have to trial and error it. A lot of people kind of don't like the fishing director fishing the tournament.
Well, I'll tell you, Paula, what we did. We put on a few of them around here. I'm going to fish it. If they gonna have to fish against me. I'm sorry, I can't put one on and not fish it.
Well, see, I'm kind of that means we're competitive, and kind of greedy here. But I mean, I'd be good with a little square box with the slit in it. Put your money in here, and be back here at 3:30. I'm fishing.
Yeah,
That's it.
I used to run one too, and I ran a kids tournament, and I mean, my son won it every year but one.
Well, I bet that made you feel bad, didn't it?
I felt super proud for him, but when I heard through the grapevine there was unhappy people, so I was like, yeah, probably don't need to do that anymore. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna put on a kids tournament and my son's not gonna get to take
not be able to fish.
I mean, that's the whole reason I'm doing the damn thing. And I'm sorry if
he outfished your kid.
I apologize if I'm so damn good.
When Ken was still a game warden, my oldest grandson, we were having the fishing rodeo, and he won big fish, got the trophy, and I thought, man, this is not good. That's his grandfather.
Yeah.
Ken's his grandfather, and here Hayden has won. Well, you put all the kids' name in a whatever, and you draw for the win the bicycle. Lo and behold, Ken pulls out the grandson's name. I was like, shit.
Oh man, here we go.
Here we go. It was almost like just grab him and run. Yeah. Like he's not here anymore or something. But I mean, it wasn't rigged, just like yours wasn't rigged. Your son had been around fishing. He knew what he was doing. I don't know. There's always going to be jealousy, hate, drama.
It just is the nature of the competition.
That's it.
Yeah,
Man, I tell you what, tonight's show's been on top of it tonight, y'all.
Yeah, we'll probably all get a knock on the door about an hour. Handcuffed.
Tomorrow's reviews are going to be excellent, I promise you.
Boy, Apollo, she's psycho now.
Yeah, Chris and his soy. Chris went off on soy.
Yeah, they'll probably start calling you Soy Man.
Oh man.
Woo-wee.
Well, Jamie, you got anything you want to promote before we get it done?
Man, I just want to say, I'm gonna keep it simple and easy. I just want to say thank you to y'all guys. I mean, y'all, we appreciate y'all so much, Miss Paula. Just like I said, your inspiration, how strong you are. You're a fighter, girl. They ain't gonna hold you down. We love that energy that you bring to Carolina Lake Weights. We live off of it. It drives us to do even better. And Chris, for everything that you do for us, brother, I love you, brother. And I want to thank all of you, all of our team members, all of our customers, all of our family out there. I know I'm talking for myself and Rebecca. We just appreciate how much y'all guys have stood beside us, behind us, pushing us to do even better. And I can promise you, we're not sitting still. There's a lot of great things that's coming to CLW that's going to blow a lot of people's minds. I mean, here we are now. We're doing custom decals. We're doing pretty much everything you can think of. I mean, except for building houses. I mean, we're not getting into that. But, it drives us to get up every morning and just know we're going to put our best foot forward and continue this train that's not slowing down anytime soon. It's just something that drives us, and we love it. I mean, we really do. So for all of our people out there that supports us, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And I know for all of our team members out there that drives every day to, use our products, that pushes our stuff, that catches big fish with our products, that takes their families out, that does a lot with their kids. Thank y'all so much from myself, Rebecca, and all of us. But
Well,
yeah,
we
Chris.
thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank both of you guys for being, great teammates, but really for being good friends to me. To me, that's way more important than the team stuff. Both of y'all, Jamie, you're my brother. Paula, I love you. Both of y'all have been really just cool to me. And I can't thank y'all enough for being just who y'all are, and y'all make me a better person. Just by being positive influences in my life, being inspirational for the way that I think things should be going. I think y'all are both a good model for other people. Like Paula, you're a great inspiration for a lot of people. I don't know if you realize it, but a lot of people look up to you. It's an honor to be associated with you, Jamie. The way that you run things, it's just different, man. It's hard to put into words what Carolina Lake Weights is and why it's so good. It goes way beyond the weights. For me, it's your family. I'm going to keep doing everything I can to help you guys. That's just what makes me feel good in the catfishing world, is trying to help my friends. So I appreciate you guys for being my friends, and let's
Brother,
get some bote.
I saw Rebecca say but she will build a kitchen. She's built the kitchen in the house, so she will build a kitchen. But I wish Rebecca was here, because I'm gonna say, first of all, that girl, she is the one that makes it what it is today. That girl, she's bad. I'm gonna say it straight out. She's badass. So but I know she would tell you all the same thing that I'm telling you. We love y'all guys.
Yeah, Chuck, we definitely appreciate you as a friend, as just the type of man that you are, how well respected you are. We need to get you on the show as well. I'd like to get you on soon, but appreciate everything that you do for not just me, but for man, so many people. So you're
Chuck Watkins.
solid as a rock, buddy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Definitely.
So,
And Paula,
Paula,
thank you so much.
Let's tell us the tournament trail one more time.
North Alabama Catfish Trail.
And what's your YouTube?
Fishing with Paula Smith.
Fishing with Paula Smith on YouTube. North Alabama Catfish Trail. Paula Curtis Smith on Facebook. Carolina Lake Weights. Carolina Lake Weights on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere and we'll talk about everything.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. You want to talk about bow and arrows, soy and chicken feed, or heavy metals in catfish. We got
and
you.
wild morphine.
Man.
Well, guys, it's been fun. This is probably one of my favorite shows.
I tell you,
This has been a great show because I haven't laughed this good in quite a minute.
I was looking forward to it. I can tell you, I was looking forward to it, Miss Paula. I told Rebecca, I said, man, I can't wait for this show tonight.
Well, I appreciate y'all inviting me on, and
I knew
I appreciate.
You're welcome back anytime, Paula. Maybe we'll actually talk fishing on one of these shows, but
Yeah,
maybe not. Fine either way. So.
Y'all welcome down here anytime. You can stay here, and we'll do the show from the river.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna head your way. I don't know. Maybe is the fishing any good there in the summer?
Not really.
When does it really start getting good again?
Right now. Right now.
So y'all got a pre-spawn blue bite, and flatheads are starting to turn on.
Oh yeah. The Duck River. I mean, right now I wouldn't get on Tennessee for love nor money.
And when does it end? When does it shut back down, or not shut out? But when does it turn back down?
They slow back down around June.
Okay.
So the Duck River though is right now on fire.
Yeah.
It's the color of the water that I asked you about, and it's on fire. That's my Flathead River.
Yep, that muddy water coming in seems to get them going.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting for the waypoints, Miss Paula.
You be waiting for the phone calls. You be cutting your phone off at night.
Oh.
But y'all are awesome. You guys are awesome.
Well, you're welcome back anytime, Paula. For everybody that's spent some time with us tonight, we appreciate everybody stopping in and hanging out. Jamie, love you, buddy. Paula, love you. Y'all are awesome. Glad to be associated with such great people. So,
I second it.
Tight lines. God bless.
Later, y'all.
Azul out.